What's up, team? So here we finally made it to LA. I'm off my flight, and yeah, I got into the gym very quickly, just to ground into the new space, right? It's something that's always going to help me just feel connected to myself, like getting in a workout, getting in a movement flow, whether it's a slow or a faster, more intense workout. I just like to move. So I'm getting into my warm up, and I've been enjoying flows lately like this, where I'm just shaking that body around. Kind of looks a little haphazard, but it's definitely like a rhythmic kind of flow, what I was just doing. Rotating the body, generating that rotation from the hips first, and my torso and my head would follow, and my arms just kind of follow as well. Same thing here. A lot of rotation, just really healthy for the body to get in that total body kind of movement, and just letting that rhythm of the body and that dynamic warm up kind of flow is going to help with just getting circulation to the body, right? And just helping you oxygenate those tissues better, right? Especially if you just woke up, you're feeling locked up from a flight. You want to do these kind of movements just to get your body woken up, get the nervous system activated as well. So, you really just want to do things, even if you make it up sometimes, right? Just do something silly, add breath to the movement, make it dynamic, right? Of course, do your, get on the ground, do your PT stuff as well. I do that as well, like activate the core in ways where you are focusing, isolating on the areas that you need and that that you have, maybe old injuries and just areas where you're imbalanced. But make sure if you're about to get in a workout, especially lifting weights and things like that, you want to start out getting more dynamic after you do some of those like more isolation things. Okay, so really open up, getting in some shoulder mobility here, best I can. Again, cool for me to see where I am just glued up. You can see here that right side compression again. But that's part of why I'm doing this vlog, is to really see myself fully and show you all the real, so that I have that opportunity to work on it and have that commitment to myself and have that accountability as well, just posting online. So finishing up this dynamic flow. Actually, I think we have a few more to go. So yeah, enjoy these movements and try some of them out yourself. Make sure you are breathing right with the movement. That is the most important part. And go on with the flow, right? Go on with the flow of the rhythm of the movement. All right, enjoy the rest of these. to the end here with the dynamic warm-up flow. Love this movement, love this movement. Kind of doing like a straddle stance. Dougie looks like, huh? So really just trying to make sure I'm working all planes of motion, doing different movements, and just literally going with the flow. You'll hear me say that word a lot. It's really just about giving my body the feedback and moving in the ways that it naturally wants to. Okay. So we're moving. I need to do a little bit more for my warm-ups than probably the average person, because of my tissue issues. Okay. So I spend time. It's all about health for me. So I do what's necessary, even if it's not what I planned on my program. I go with what my system needs, what my body needs, what my brain needs. Okay, it's neuromuscular for me. It's not just like sheer aesthetic, like, for me at least. Love this one. Just make sure you rotate the hips if you try that one, because you definitely blow out that knee if you're not getting the coaching you need and just trying things without knowing exactly the right form. So feels good if you do it well, right? Getting rotation while bulletproofing those knees. And we're into the workout. Love a kettlebell. Love a kettlebell. Absolutely. One of my favorite implements to use. Here we got the reverse step back lunge, going right into that single leg RDL. Try to get a little negative action going too. That slow and control, working on, just feeling my hip in its socket. So I'm going to do a lot of slow work when I'm doing single-sided work, and just to feel, again, I'm truly trying to feel that integration, right, with my hip socket, right, that acetabular onto my femur. I have tissue issues again, and so we have to make sure that we are sensing the correct patterns, and using the knowledge that you have to heal yourself. Okay, using the knowledge that you have to heal yourself. So my exercise selection and prescription for myself is intentional always. All right. we're getting into the squat, kettlebell squat. Slow negative on the way down. And my favorite aspect of this, watching this exercise back, y'all, is getting to see again, we're trying to train ourselves to health. Okay, I see the shortening of my right leg. I see how that internal rotation of the hip, the adduction, how it's pulling me, that right hip back. Okay, and it even makes my left leg appear longer. And so, y'all that got scoliosis or that's been told, oh, my leg is longer, it appears that way, right? But unless it's something else going on, because your leg can actually be longer. But for most of us, if you weren't born with that, it's just a rotation, and there's no neutrality there in your hip, right? There's some lateral shifting, there's some rotation, that's causing you one side to dump forward and the other side to dump back. So just film yourselves to heal yourself when you're training. All right, now when y'all try this, because I know y'all want to try everything the trainers is doing, even though it might not necessarily be what you need. Again, find a coach. Okay, find a coach. You can try this out if you know that you can do this. And like for this one, if you got healthy knees, okay, then go for it. But this is a highly knee dominant exercise. Knee dominant exercise. Like we're working, I'm touching my hamstrings and my butt because I'm trying to emphasize that again to get that working on my hip positioning. So I'm activating that area to work on my hips, but it's also like a high knee load, which can be too much if you don't have that strength and haven't built up that foundation before. So this little falling tower hold right here can be great for some and not great for others. So you got to work with what works for you. What up? Getting in all those neuro juicy benefits post gym in LA. And so much to reflect on as always, but we're gonna keep it short. Again, like the workout felt good. Like I always feel better usually after I like take my time, move through a workout, get activated and everything. I feel a little bit better, but still just like, a constant like kind of 24/7, like in pain and just feel fatigue and like that. But I always feel like a little bit better after moving. So that's nice. Today I did some of the neural resets in between sets to see how they felt, right? Especially after doing like a lot of extension. After fatiguing, after getting to a workout, your issues start to manifest more. It's like you feel better, but like you'll start to lean towards your compensation side because that's what the body's gonna do. So like I'm like, all right, let me halfway through the workout do some specific resets this time. And this time I was doing kind of like a rotation reset. I'm gonna go back. A rotation reset, focusing on thoracic rotation, like right rotation. That's I have a hard time going right. So there's things like I get stuck within my neck because of rotation to right. So I tend to be really tight with my cervical flexion. That causes things in my hips too. It's essentially scoliosis, but it's just neurologically driven. So I did some things with like my eyes and my breathing in combination with the rotation, right? So really I do a lot with like visual vestibular things, and it's popular now. People are getting hip to it, but we've been about that life, right? Vision is extremely relevant to your balance, your coordination, your system being like able to stabilize. Okay, so when you really focus and work on focusing in on a point, converging those eyes on a point while you're moving, whatever you're doing, or just having some sort of intention. You can just make it up, honestly. But if you know how to do that kind of training, it's helpful to elite sports performance. So I do that a lot with athletes and everything. But also, just cool. Like I'm always in, like I'm always in the lab, right? I'm always in the lab with myself, always have been, always have thought of myself as my own experiment, and like use that when I'm working with other people. And of course, in combination with staying up with the research and everything. But intuitively, like our bodies know, I'm telling you, some of these things are like popular now, like people that like intuitively move and do that work or have done that work in some sort of way with like a movement practice, whatever kind of basis, whether it's like strength training or anything, all of it, right? You kind of have that feeling of like, I'm always saying move connected. When you move connected, when your vision is with it, when you know how to rotate and like to get the 360-degree motion with vision, it really gets you locked in, right? Into a state of like relaxation, but also intensity, for example, if you're doing a sport. So it's important to be in kind of like, when those pro athletes, those elite athletes, they, at the top, you can really get into that zone whenever you want to, right? Get in the zone, right? So the idea of like, where's the balance between like the state of like loosey-goosey and a state of like, there's a beautiful point there that feels very blissful if you've ever experienced, or even like people that meditate, you'll experience it too, if you're lucky. But if you learn some of these neural reset tools, not just for performance, not just for pain relief, but for finding peace and gratitude, it's life-changing. All right, peace, y'all. See y'all next one.